Hello everybody, Raven Knight here, and welcome to another monthly update video. I love doing this, guys. I love sharing the updates that are coming this month and what things I'm planning. This is a very special kind of video for me to make, and guys, this is a very special month, isn't it? It's October. It's the spooky month. It's the scary month, and I love October, not only because the weather starts to cool off, but because I just love the aesthetic of horror and monsters and spooky, creepy creatures. This is my kind of month, and there's so much to talk about this month. But before we can get into that, let's go through the rigmarole, shall we? First of all, would really appreciate any support you guys can give to the channel so I can continue to make videos as often as I do and continue to be employed and, make some money doing all this. Money isn't the most important thing in the world, but it does allow me to continue doing what I need to. So if you'd like to help donate, I do have a Patreon. Link will be in the description where you can donate just $1 to help me out. We have a Teespring store with some awesome merch. Some of it's floating on the screen right now. We got shirts, we got hats, we got lots of stuff there that you may like with beautiful art done by my friends Hannah and Jay, who I'll talk about in a second. If you're interested at all in that and sending some money my way, that would be much appreciated. If you can't do that, subscribing to the channel always helps, because subscription really makes all the difference. It helps keep me relevant on YouTube. Don't forget to like the video. Liking is always nice. And comment. I love your comments. I love reading all the comments, good or bad. And just continue being supportive, guys, and that would help me a great deal. Now, I mentioned them. I want to thank them again profusely. I try to thank them in every update video, so I'm going to do it again here. Hannah and Jay, my two really close artist friends. Hannah and I have been friends for many, many years now. She's a very talented artist. You're looking at some of her pictures, new and old, on the screen right now. She typically draws me as a girl because of, it's just what she likes to do. She prefers drawing females for one thing, and for second, it's an old joke between the two of us. But I don't care. It's beautiful art. She always does a great job, and she cares deeply about giving me her absolute best. She's a wonderful friend, and she's continuing to offer new ideas and pictures to not only the channel, but to the Teespring store. If you want to check out more of her art, her Instagram link is in the description below. And then my buddy Jay. What can't I say about Jay that hasn't already been said? His art is floating across the screen right now. Jay is a phenomenal comic book artist. He takes commissions, I know that, and he is absolutely 100% a very talented but also very spiritual man. His faith is very important to him, just as it is to me. He's an accountability partner to me. He cares deeply about me and what I'm going through, just as I care about him. He is a very good friend to me. He's the one who designed the Raven Lord emblem and the Raven Lord avatar that you've seen. He's also done a lot of really other cool work for me and my writing and for the channel, and he's done it out of the kindness of his own heart. I can't thank him enough, and I can't thank Hannah enough for what they do. Both of their Instagram links are in the description below. Go check out their art. Give them some love. They both deserve it. All right. Now that that's out of the way, time for some updates. So we survived Hurricane Ian. For those who are not familiar, Hurricane Ian was a pretty strong hurricane that shot through Florida, went into the Atlantic Ocean, then turned around and hit South Carolina. And Lark and I live in South Carolina, so that was a bit of a worry for us. We were talking about it on YouTube a couple times about how we were thinking about whether or not we'd evacuate. We just then decided to hunker down. Luckily for us, we were very fortunate. We were blessed, okay? The storm was projected to hit us directly. Instead, it veered a little bit north and instead went more towards Myrtle Beach and Charleston. So we were blessed. We were saved from any major damages. We got some wind, we got some rain, and some shaky moments. I think there was one moment where the doors kind of shook from the wind, but other than that, nothing big happened. No major property damage. Can't say the same thing for our Uncle Bob. Our Uncle Bob has a beach house in Myrtle Beach, and the pier near where he lived was torn clean off by the wind. Pretty crazy stuff. Our hearts and prayers go out to Uncle Bob and those in Myrtle Beach who were affected. But more than anything, guys, I want to take a moment and just offer my condolences and my thoughts, my prayers to Florida and all those affected by Hurricane Ian. I know it walloped y'all hard, and y'all took a big hit, which cut the hurricane strength in half before it got to us. It could have been a lot worse had it not passed through you guys. I'm not thanking you for your sacrifice, but I am saying that I feel for you guys. Hurricanes are no joke. For those of you who live in the middle of the United States or away from the coastline, you can't understand how scary hurricanes can be for those of us who live on the coast. So my Floridian friends and watchers, if you lost anything in this hurricane or suffered anything, know that my hearts and prayers go out to you. I really do feel for you guys. If there's anything I can do for you guys, a shout out video or anything like that, please let me know. I know this sucks. Stay strong, guys. We'll get through this. Hurricane season is almost over. Moving on from that, substitute teaching has been going okay. It's got its ups and downs. The pro of being a substitute teacher is I don't have to make any lesson plans when I go into the school. I just have to show up and follow the plans given to me. The downside of being a substitute teacher is no one respects a substitute. As far as these kids are concerned, you're just a stand-in, and because you don't know all the rules of the school, they think they can get away with murder and you won't understand it. Like, oh, well, I can beat this kid up. The teacher lets us. Oh, he does? Okay. Like that kind of thing. Nothing that extreme yet, but there are moments where it gets kind of crazy. I've already had to stop one fight at a school that I was subbing for. That was insane. But I don't regret it. I think the substitute teaching is going to prepare me for what comes next. And what's coming next? Well, Japan plans. Okay, so I've said it before and I'll say it again. One of my major plans, a long-term plan that I have, is to go to Japan. I want to go to Japan and potentially live there, work there, and mission there. That's something that I've always wanted to do. And I've had to change my plans a little. One thing that I noticed that I was having a talk with my pastor, and he pointed out that I'm trying to make things happen too fast. Like, guys, I'm 29 years old, and a part of me is thinking, oh man, I'm almost 30 and nothing in my life is the way I want it to be. I want to be over in Japan already. I want to get this out of the way, but I'm going too fast, so I'm having to take a few steps back and rethink things. I'm focusing on learning the Japanese language. I'm focusing on getting an ESOL degree so that I can be a better teacher of English when I get over there. And I'm thinking about even going to seminary so that I can become a missionary and mission in Japan and areas where they could use the gospel. There's a lot that I want to do with my plans to go to Japan, but my desire to go there has not diminished. If anything, it's gotten stronger. I am super, super excited. Learning the language is hard but fun. It's all something that I'm very passionate about. I'm very excited. But okay, all right. That's me, like, y'all tell me that you like to hear what's going on in the world of Raven, but I know what you're really here for, right, guys? I know what you really want to hear. You want to hear what's coming to the channel, right? All right, so let's talk about it, starting with For Honor. So people have been asking me, when am I going to get to the Warmonger Executions graded video? Well, I was going to do it sooner, but then I saw that they're planning to do the next Warmonger Hero Fest in October 6th. So I've decided to wait until the Warmonger Hero Fest comes out, because she'll get a new execution, and with that I can add that to the executions graded video and get a full and complete grade for her. Now, yes, people are pointing out, well, Tiandi is right after Warmonger, isn't he? So why don't you do what's going to happen to their graded video? What I'll do when the new Tiandi execution comes out is I will take the Tiandi former grade, add this new execution to that grade, and I will get a complete grade from that so that I can change Tiandi's just a little bit. But other than that, that's all that's going to happen there. The Halloween event is coming. In October 20th, we'll get a Halloween event. I believe Nobushi is the one who's going to get the new elite skin, the new cool hero skin that's coming out. I think it's going to have something to do with Yorogumo. And if that's the case, that'll be really cool. We're also getting full-on cross-play and all that, and people are asking, am I going to play with fans when we get cross-play? Yes, I will be more than happy to play with fans. I don't know if I'll be able to live stream with fans, because that's still something that I'm having trouble doing with my internet connection, but I will definitely try to play with fans, other YouTubers if they'll have me, stuff like that. So yes, I do fully intend to do that. So there's a lot coming on October 20th that I'm very, very excited about. We'll talk more about that as we get closer to that date. If you haven't seen my Yokai video, please go check it out. I worked very hard on that video. It took a long time to make, and I think that I did a pretty decent job on it. So if you want to learn some more about the Yokai and demons and spirits of Japanese folklore, definitely check that out. Had a lot of fun making it, and it's very seasonally relevant. Other than that, The Legend of Fan Ling, my pirate legend, is going to be coming out this month. I don't know if I'll get another legend out this month, but I will try. And For Honor and Glory, chapters 21 and 22, I would like to see come out this month. I know 21 will come out this month. 22 I'm going to try, but I can't promise anything. Now, I want to make something clear before I move on from For Honor and go into the next thing. Sad to say, I'm the lore guy. I'm the history guy. I'm the guy who can look at knights, Vikings, samurai, and Wu Lin and say, hey, here's how they fit into history. Here's how the story of the world makes sense and how it doesn't. That's what I do. I am not very well versed in the mechanics or the balancing or anything like that. That's Marco Iolo's thing. That's Slanderous's thing. That's all these other people who know this kind of stuff way better than I do. I admire them for being so good at it. I wish I could be more like John DeLiner and Marco Iolo and folks like that. I'm simply not. I'm the guy who can tell you, hey, you want to know who Lawbringer is based off of? I can tell you. So when people ask me, hey, Raven, what do you think of these patches and changes to the movement speeds or balancing of Nobushi or Shaman or anything like that, I can just tell you, I like it. That's about all I can say, because I'm not as well versed as these people are. So sorry if I can't give you those kind of answers that you're looking for, but I hope you enjoy my channel and my For Honor content all the same. All right, moving on from For Honor, Dead by Daylight. It is October, guys, and you know what that means. We got to do some Dead by Daylight content. So this month, we're going to have a lot of time dedicated to doing Dead by Daylight analyses. We're going to do Michael Myers, since we just did Laurie Strode. We're going to do Ace Visconti. We're going to do The Hag. We're going to try to do Bill Overbeck. We're going to try to get as many as we can done within feasible time. I don't want to rush these, I want to do my best with them, but I do want to dedicate October to Dead by Daylight, since that is a horror game and this is the month of horror. I am also aware of the new updates coming to the game. I don't know if they're out yet. They may be coming out with a new chapter, but I've heard about the new updates. Basically, there are some changes that are going to affect a lot of perks. They're going to affect some usability of killers and survivors. It's going to change the game very, very much. I may do a video where I discuss each of them, but I don't think I'm qualified. Like I said, I'm not the mechanics guy. I'm more of the lore and history guy. So you might want to check out someone who would know more about that, like, say, Spook and Jukes or someone like that, who is very much more knowledgeable about those things than I am. But before we move on from Dead by Daylight, yes, I have seen the rumors. I've heard the announcement. For Honor and Dead by Daylight are crossing over again. But this time, it's going to be more on Dead by Daylight side than For Honor side. You see, what happened last October was For Honor did a Dead by Daylight themed Halloween event where the Trapper showed up in a game mode. But the only thing Dead by Daylight got out of it was a Warden charm. Now it looks like it's going to be the reverse. It looks like Dead by Daylight is going to have a brand new chapter where a new killer is introduced, and all they've said about the killer is that it's a knight, and that it is inspired by For Honor. So this has led many to believe that the new hero is going to, the new killer is going to be Apollyon or a warmonger. That would be cool. I think that's a neat idea, and they've also said that there will be a map that is inspired from For Honor. So maybe that'll be the same map where the Trapper event was. Maybe that'll be the Cathedral. Maybe it'll be a combination of those two. I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see what they do with that. But I will say this. I am a little disappointed. Just a little disappointed. Because while I think Warmonger or Apollyon would be an interesting addition to Dead by Daylight, why not Hitakiri? I feel like Hitakiri just made so much more sense as a Dead by Daylight killer. But, hey, that's just me. Anyway, very excited for having a month dedicated to Dead by Daylight. I'm very excited to talk about that, because here's the thing. Even though Dead by Daylight is far more toxic than any other game I've ever played, I still like it. I still enjoy it. It's still a fun game, and it's a game that I usually don't lose my mind over as much as I do other games, which is really weird. You'd think I would, because I'm not good at it, but whatever the case. Moving on. Response videos. The only response video I can talk about right now is I am remaking an old response video to Hilarious Helmet History where they talk about the Spartans. I did a response video with Lark some time ago in the past where we talked about it, but we could have done a lot better. We were not as informed, and we were very new to the world of response videos at that time. We can do better, so I intend to do better with this new video. I plan to release that this month. I don't know if I will, but the truth is, guys, I'm running out of response videos to make. None of my usual stomping grounds to find topics are working that well. Extra credits has been mostly benign. Nothing they've said has been outwardly insane. And the stuff that is stupid is just not big enough to make a whole video about. Articles that I find on CBR and the like, even if I disagree with them, they're not worth making a video about. So if you guys can find any videos or articles or anything like that for me to respond to, please let me know. I will do my best. I could use some more response video topics because I know you guys like them and I want to make more of them. I just need the topics. So please let me know if you find any. I'd be very appreciative. Warhammer. Yes, we're finally talking Warhammer, guys. We've released 2 videos about the Chaos Gods and what I call Crash Course Warhammer, where basically I talk about different aspects of Warhammer to people who may be very new to Warhammer and not know a lot of stuff about it. It's not going into super deep detail. It's just going over the fundamental basics. So if you guys are saying, hey, why don't you talk about this specific moment with Nurgle or this specific event with Slanesh? That's not my goal. My goal here is to give you the bare bones basics about what they are and how they work. And y'all seem to have enjoyed them so far. I've enjoyed making them. And for those wondering, yes, Khorne is going to be the next Chaos God we will talk about. I'm trying to do all the Chaos Gods before I move on to other factions and groups. And yes, I will do videos on other factions and groups. In fact, question, since it is the month of October, would y'all like me to try to fit in the vampire counts this month? No promises that I can, but I may try if y'all are interested. But that could be something fun to do. Also, while we're on the topic of the Chaos Gods, Hannah is planning on drawing chibi images, like cute images, of the Chaos Claire avatar she's made. So you've noticed that in each of the thumbnails for the Chaos videos, there's been like a Claire who looks like she belongs to that cult. And she's planning on doing like chibi versions of them that we can put on shirts or merchandise for the Teespring store. If you'd be interested in that, please let us know, because that would be something fun we'd both love to do. But yeah, I'm very excited to be doing Warhammer stuff, guys. This is a really cool new stomping ground for me, and it allows me to really stretch my muscles and think more about things outside of just For Honor and the like, but this is a lot of fun. But I do want to tell y'all something straight up, like, before we go any further about after Warhammer. One of the biggest problems with talking Warhammer is Warhammer has a problem with consistency. For example, when I did my Nurgle video, I said that Nurgle was the oldest of the Chaos Gods. And I got a lot of people telling me that I was wrong about that. Now, it's a common mistake, they said, but Nurgle is not the oldest. And they proved it to me by going to Warhammer Fantasy wikis and stuff like that to point out, it says here, that he is the third oldest of the Chaos Gods. But it's not like I didn't do my research. I pointed out where I got my source, and it was from a Warhammer 40k wiki, where it said that Nurgle was the oldest. Now, I'm not discrediting any source. What I'm saying is that both sources contradict each other, and there's no consistency. So if I get something that's not quite consistent, please bear with me. It's not that I'm not doing the research, it's that sometimes I'm just not going to get consistency right all the time. I'll do my best, though. But so far, everyone's been very polite about this. I'm not calling anyone out. Most everyone who's criticized has been very fair to me. I appreciate y'all for your fairness. Just don't insult me. Nobody come at me and say, oh, you clearly don't know what you're talking about. I do. I try to look into it as much as I can. All right, moving on to writing stuff. I am a writer, so sadly, no new writing room videos have been planned right now. I'd love some suggestions. What are some stuff you'd like me to talk about in the writing rooms? But no new ones right now that I have planned. I'm planning on reading Nomad sometime in the future. Nomad is a story that I've been working on with Jay, and it's actually almost done. I've only got 3 more chapters to write, and then it'll be complete. And once I finish that, I will start reading those on the YouTube channel. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Death Diary is going to get an updated entry soon. I've got a plan for that. And also, I have finished a new chapter of The Revenant King, which I will be releasing on YouTube very shortly. It is a vampire story, so might as well release that in October, right? Also, I want to thank you guys. You guys have been very cool to me. Y'all have been talking to me about how I should return to Metamorphosis and try to rewrite it, try to pick it back up again. And I'm giving serious thought to it because it was a story that I really enjoyed, but really came to hate near the end of its existence because, you know, well, if you want to know the details of that, watch my story sharing on Metamorphosis, the story that almost broke me. And I will consider revisiting it. But right now, Hannah and I have been working on a new story with a very similar setup as Metamorphosis, but with a few twists involved, called Hiccup. And Hiccup follows a similar kind of setup to Metamorphosis, like I said, but there's something different about it. And I'd love to talk about that later once we have a better idea of where that's going, and y'all can tell us what you think of it. But Hiccup might be what replaces Metamorphosis as this character study story. So let us know. And speaking of story sharing, that's been so much fun. Have you guys been enjoying that? Let me know in the comments. Do y'all enjoy the story sharing episodes that I do Mondays? Because I enjoy making those. I love talking about stories and story ideas that I've had. They're a lot of fun, and it gives me something cool to release each week, which, you know, consistency of uploading is important to me. So I hope that y'all have been enjoying that. Writing and telling stories is something that I'm very passionate about. And the fact that you guys take the time to still watch me and enjoy my writing discussions, despite the fact that I didn't sell myself as that, is awesome. I know that I kind of sold myself as a For Honor channel, but I do so much more than For Honor now, and that you guys have stuck around for all of it. Really, really appreciate it. All right, so now the miscellaneous stuff. What other stuff do you need to know? Lark's Lamentation is going to be done this month. We took a long break from Lark's Lamentation so that we could focus on getting Assassin's Creed games done, but now we're taking a break from Assassin's Creed Ranked because we need time to play Origins and Odyssey, which are both very long games. We need time to get through those. And Lark is going to take some time to finish up his video on the Volcair clan, the clan from Skyrim, the vampire clan. He's got stuff to say about that. I'm excited to see what he has to say. It's going to be very cool. Our new subscriber goal. We did not meet it last month. I'm sorry, guys. We didn't quite do it. We didn't get to 26K. We're right now at 25.8K, which is cool. That's fine. That's not a problem. But it does mean that I'm not going to do my Q&A live stream. I'm sorry, guys. Not yet. We got to meet our goal first. So here's the new goal. By the end of October, I want to get to 26.5K by the end of the month. I want to get to 26.5K. So if we can do that, I'll do the Q&A video, and you'll get to see my pretty face. Pretty's a strong word, I know. Rainbow Six wins. People have been asking me, since I do Rainbow Six Cringe, where I talk about the crappy new operators and crappy direction of the lore, are there any operators or aspects of the lore that I like? And so I will do some videos on Rainbow Six Wins where I talk about my favorite operators, but that will be postponed until November. I'm not going to do that in October. I've got enough going on this month. I don't need to add more to it, so we're going to save that for November. Now, there are a few other things very, very important that I want to talk about, so bear with me, guys. I've been asked a lot about movies, TV shows, games, and their wokeness, about the wokeness of modern movies, TV shows, and games. I appreciate the fact that y'all want my opinion. It shows that you value it, and it shows that you think that I'm someone trustworthy to talk about with it. One of the problems that I face is I don't want to step on any toes, but I also want to be honest and maintain my integrity. And it can be very honest to give you my honest thoughts and positions without stepping on some toes. Now, sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes it's unnecessary. I want to make sure that when I am speaking my mind, I am fair. Lately, I've been getting a lot of criticism from people. Now, when it comes to criticisms and negative comments, typically, I will just ignore it. When I will only respond when either A, the person directly insults me or Lark, or B, when they say something in their comment that shows that they misunderstood what I said in the video. So if they say something like, oh, so what you're saying in this video is blank, and that's clearly not what I said, I may correct and say, no, this is what I said. And if you insult me, I will respond right back at you. I'm not one to sit there and take it. In fact, recently, I actually got my first death wish comment, which was very funny. I got someone to actually wish death upon me, hoping that Hurricane Ian killed me. I feel like that's kind of a stepping stone for me as a YouTube creator, finally getting my death wishes now. Let's see if we can promote ourselves to death threats, huh? By the way, how am I an inbred? That's a very common comment that I get. How am I an inbred? Is it because I'm from the South? That's a little presumptuous of you, but okay, I guess if you say so, then I guess so, but whatever. But that's all neither here nor there. I'm going to be very careful about not offending anybody when I share my thoughts, but the fact of the matter is everything's offensive these days. There's very little you can talk about without offending someone or upsetting someone. So I'm going to be as fair as I possibly can, but I'm never going to forsake my honesty or integrity. I'm going to be there are some topics I'm going to try to avoid talking about, but if they do come up, you're going to get my honest thoughts. Okay. Well, let's do the jingle.
I've seen unspeakable horrors, and I know pain. It's time for the question of the day.
I want to thank Chris Raygun for that. I want to thank him so much for that bit. That's not mine. That's Chris's. Go check out his channel. He's awesome. So question of the day is basically where I answer a question that has been frequently asked or recently asked of me at the end of my update video. And today's question comes to us from my Discord, where I am asked, what do you think of Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss by Vivzy Pop? Okay, interesting question. I don't really care for them. I'm not a big fan. And there are three primary reasons why. The first being that I don't really care for the smuttiness or the swearing or all that kind of stuff. Like, every episode just has a lot of swearing, a lot of smut. There's a lot of sex references and sexual scenes, and I'm just not a big fan of those. It's just sex for the sake of it, and I'm not really into that kind of stuff. My second problem is okay, speaking kind of from a Christian perspective, but also from a story writing perspective, I wish that the world itself made more sense. Hell itself, I don't really get quite how the rules work entirely. I'm sure that they explain it in the background, but I had to watch other YouTubers try to explain the lore to me, and if I have to go to a third party just to understand the lore of what I'm watching or reading, that's a bad sign. So the fact that it has poor world building, that's another problem for me. But the third, and probably my biggest problem, is this. I am very much sick of the way that hell and demons are portrayed like they are in this show. Hell of a Boss presents hell in a manner that I think is not only biblically inaccurate, but very old-fashioned. It's very tired now. It used to be subversive. You know, when it first started with Paradise Lost, you know, the idea that Satan was misunderstood, hell was misunderstood, demons were misunderstood, that they secretly are just, you know, free thinkers and they live free, and God and his angels are afraid of these free thinkers. They're afraid of these people who won't conform, so they make you believe that they're all evil, that kind of thing, that nonsense. I'm sick of that because it used to be subversive. Now it's just what everyone does. It's the way every show or anime or movie tries to explain it, that the demon isn't all that bad, that hell isn't all that bad. But here, I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of seeing it. Why can't demons be demonic again? You know, the idea, like, demons are supposed to be seductive. Sure, they're supposed to be tempting. Sin is supposed to be tempting, but there's supposed to be an end result. Like, the idea is that you're holding out an apple in one hand and a dagger in the other. You know, there's a danger to sin. Living promiscuously is supposed to be dangerous. It's supposed to lead to an end result that's bad. And that was what hell was supposed to represent, that end result that is bad. But here, literally, as I'm watching the show, I'm thinking to myself, why wouldn't I want to go to hell? Like, hell doesn't seem all that bad. People can hold down jobs there. They can have sexual relations. They can go to amusement parks. You can have kids, have a family in hell. Sure, I guess it's a little bit more dangerous because people are, you know, more violent and allowed to do whatever they want, I guess. But, I don't know, people seem pretty much happy. People are free to live as they want. In fact, if you watch the Asmodeus part, it seems like people are free to express themselves the way they want to. You know, it's like, I don't see the issue. But I guess that's the idea, you know? It's kind of like this idea of, you know, oh, well, you know, here in hell, it's not so bad because, you know, here in hell, we can live the way we want to. We can live as we can live as we see fit. Well, then what's the problem? Like, oh, well, there's a purge once every year. Really? So, like, only a handful of you get killed yearly? That doesn't seem like a damnation. Because according to what this one guy said on a YouTube video, apparently that's only one ring of hell. There are multiple rings. Just don't live in the ring where you would get purged, I guess. I don't know. I just don't know the rules, and that goes back to my world building issue. Look, here's the thing for me. Make my demons evil again. Make my demons demonic again. Like, make it so that there is a danger to accepting the demon's contract. Like, there's a risk. Some of it just doesn't make sense to me. A lot of it, I feel like there is just so much that doesn't make sense to me about it, and I just cannot stand it. It's a lot of sex stuff. It's a lot of swearing. It's a lot of edginess for the sake of being edgy. I don't care for the characters that much. There are only a few that even slightly interest me, and they fall by the wayside very quickly. The demon lore and world building is mediocre at best. They don't explain themselves all the time, so there are things that I don't understand. And then, of course, like I said, I thought demons were supposed to be evil, dangerous, demonic. I thought hell was supposed to be a place of torture or torment, a place where you don't want to end up. And yet, I don't see the issue. Heck, how bad can hell be when there's literally a business in hell that you can go to get revenge on a guy who hurt you in real life? That's the whole point of Hell of a Boss. The company they run allows demons or people who went to hell to hire them to kill someone in the real world who wronged them. How can hell be that bad when you literally have the opportunity for vengeance on those who did you wrong? I don't know. I just didn't care for it. I feel like a lot doesn't make sense. Heck, that's another question. Let's say that I wronged someone, I accidentally killed them, so they end up in hell. So then they want these demons to kill me in response, and then I die, so then I go to hell. Now we're both in hell. We can just duke it out for all of eternity. Is that how it works? Or do I go to heaven? And then what makes heaven better, you know? I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. I'm going to stop it there. That's my thoughts. I'm not a big fan of Hell of a Boss or Has Been Hotel. I don't really care for them. Creative character designs, but that's what you'd expect from Vivzie Pop. She has very creative character designs. Poor world building, not interesting characters to me. A lot of it just doesn't make sense, and it's you know, subversiveness that's no longer subversive. All right, I think that wraps it up. That's it for this question of the day. Well, if you have another question for me that you'd like me to answer in a later update video, please leave them in the comments below. That about wraps things up, guys. Again, I want to thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to hit up the Patreon and Teespring store to help support the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Remember, if we get to 26.5K by the end of the month, I'll do a Q&A video where I show my face. Also, don't forget to support Hannah and Jay, who are amazing artists and give so much to this channel. Please continue enjoying my channel. I love making these videos. I love entertaining you guys. This is a dream come true for me to be able to do this kind of stuff, and making money off of it is nice, but more than that, it's just entertaining literally over 25,000 people who find something enjoyable in what I do. If you haven't joined the Discord, I'll leave the Discord link in the description as well. I'm not on there very often, but sometimes I'll pop in to answer a few questions, but hey, you know, it's your prerogative. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.